Okay. Hi, my name is Sarah Hecklau. I work in the undergrad admissions office at Champlain College, and I am here to help host one of our Google Hangouts. It's going to be actually hosted by one of our senior interns, Rachel. So I'm going to pass things off to Rachel, but if at any point during the Google Hangout you have a question, you can tweet at Champlain SA, the letters S and A at the end, and tweet over a question, and our panelists will answer it for you. So I will pass things off to Rachel and have a great chat.
Okay, thanks, Sarah. So I'm Rachel. I'm one of the senior admissions interns this year. I'm a senior business and event management major. And yeah, tonight we're going to talk about student life and events on campus. And so if everyone just wants to introduce themselves, like who you are, what's your major, and what you're involved in. Callie, if you want to start.
All right, my name is Callie Browning. I am a international business major graduating December of 2016, and I am the president of the Champlain College Esports Club.
Damien.
My name is Damien Paquin-Nault. I am a game design major, and I'm class of 2018, and I am a student activity programmer at Champlain College.
Kirby.
Hi, I'm Kirby McThompson, a senior business administration major, and I'm the president of the Student Government Association.
And Taylor.
I am Taylor Bibaud. I am a senior in the management of creative media, about to go into my last semester, and I am the president of the Ski and Ride Club at Champlain.
Cool.
One of the
presidents. One of them. So we clearly have a lot of different areas covered for events and student life on campus. So to start off, I was thinking we'd talk about traditional events. So Damon, what are some traditional events that students would see at Champlain?
So most of the events that we have on campus are either on the weekends or on Thursdays specifically. On Thursdays, it usually alternates between free bowling night and free movie night. And those are events that students would sign up for prior to the event, and then on Thursdays take a bus to either the Majestic Theater or the Spare Time bowling place that we go to. And those happen every other Thursday. And then Fridays and Saturdays are usually our other planned events. So we have a lot of different events, like Mason jar decorating is one that's actually happening tomorrow. We have also perler beads on Saturday, and usually they're craft events that you can make gifts or take home for yourself. Or they're more active events like some sort of tournament for a game, or some sort of lawn activity, or even going to somewhere like Pizza Putt, which would be mini golf and pizza and stuff like that. Other than that, usually the events are run by the student activity programmers. I'm one of 8 or 9-ish of them. Rachel's another one. And yeah, we run the events on the weekends. Sometimes we'll be on Sundays, but typically on Fridays and Saturdays. And then there's also CHAMP, which is another organization that students can join. Anyone's welcome to join it. While the student activity programmer position is a work-study job, CHAMP is a club that meets on Mondays, and anyone's welcome to come. We have new members come all the time. It doesn't have to be from the beginning to the end. And they organize some of the bigger events on campus, like the snowball dance or the Halloween events and things like that. And we usually try to plan those far in advance. We usually get them a month ahead of time. We have flyers, people table for them, and we really pull together everyone in the club. There's a large amount of people, I don't know specifically, probably around 30 or so that are in there right now. But yeah, they do some of the bigger events on campus, and typically the student activity programmers and the CHAMP make up a large portion of just the extracurricular, non-organization specific events that go on campus.
Cool. And then we did just have Mariana join us. So if Mariana, if you want to quickly say who you are, what your major is, and what you're involved in on campus.
Yep. So thank you, Rachel. Sorry I'm late. My name's Mariana. I'm a senior management creative media major. I'm a student ambassador on campus. I've also been a resident assistant RA and a peer advisor PA.
Cool. So to go into more club events now, I'm going to start with Taylor and Ski and Ride. So what is Ski and Ride, and what do you guys do?
So the Champlain Ski and Ride Club is basically just kind of a big group of friends that we get together once. Well, we have So there's different parts of it. We have a smaller officers group that is in charge of kind of planning and running all the events. We keep budgets. We plan things that we think everybody's going to like. And then the club as a whole is basically anybody is welcome. There's no kind of real admissions. If you like an event that we're doing, you want to come, you come and do it. We do a lot of different things on campus and on mountain. So some of like the more like fall, springtime events that we'll do that we're not going to be on the mountain for, it's no snow yet. We'll do movie premieres. This year we had 686, we had Level 1. This year we also had our first ever ladies night where we got Maud Raymond to come down from Montreal and she did a talk for ladies only. And we also organize an on-campus rail jam. It's our biggest event of the year. It's huge. We have sponsors Red Bull, Sugar Bush, all in the ski industry. We truck in snow. It's a lot of work, but it really shows the drive of the ski community here and gets people pretty hyped to be able to look out and see skiing outside their windows this year when it was 70 degrees. So that was pretty sweet.
Cool. Is it easy for students to get involved in Ski and Ride?
Yeah, I mean, super easy. As I said, there's no real admission, so basically follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook. That's how you find out about all our events, and if you want to be involved, just come. We're super open. We'll have product, and just kind of come and hang out, talk to us, and if you want to get more involved, we're always looking for people to help plan our events. So yeah, super, super easy, we hope to be super inviting, especially on our trips. Those are open to anybody. It's usually $20 for a bus ride and a lift ticket, which is unbelievable. We go to Killington, Sugarbush, Stowe, Jay Peak, Bolton Valley. We're actually going down to Killington on Saturday for the big Rails to Riches, so that'll be sweet.
Cool. How often do you do like the ski trips?
It's in the past it's kind of been disjointed between student activities and us. It's been like two different entities where they'll do a trip and we'll do a trip, and it was never really together. This year we're going to be working together on like collaborating for trips. So basically they're going to be organizing and we're going to be promoting for them, and we're hoping to get to a different mountain every other weekend. So it'll give you a lot more opportunities to see other places rather than the Sugar Bush that we usually go to.
Cool. So the next club that we're going to talk about is esports. So Callie, kind of same questions, like what is esports, what do you guys do, and what events do you do?
So Champlain Esports is a sort of newly redefined club within the last 2 years. We used to focus on the game League of Legends, and we then expanded to now 6 games, League, Dota 2, Smite, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm. And we focus on not only just the casual side of we do LAN parties every couple weeks and just hang out and play the games, but we also are mainly focused on the competitive side, and we have a goal of having a varsity team for each of these games. We currently have a League of Legends varsity team that is competing in a collegiate circuit right now, and we have a Hearthstone team and CSGO team that
It said that Mariana muted Callie.
There we go.
Okay.
Back. Okay.
So you might want to go over everything you just said.
Okay. None of that get heard.
No.
Okay. So esports is a club that focuses on 6 games: League of Legends, Dota 2, Smite, Counter-Strike, Hearthstone, and Heroes of the Storm. And we focus on not only the casual play but the competitive play. Our goal is to have a varsity team for each one of these games. We currently have a League of Legends team that is competing in a collegiate circuit nationally right now, as well as a Hearthstone and CSGO team that should be coming up next semester or the semester after. We host LAN party events every 3 to 4 weeks. We try and do about 6 to 7 events a semester, and that includes the LAN parties. We do viewing parties for various championship events, and also watching our varsity team.
And I know that your club kind of had something to do with the Extra Life event. Do you want to talk about Extra Life?
Yeah, so Extra Life is a special event that our club has taken responsibility for. It's a nationwide charity event in which there was a gaming community that came together to raise money for a young girl they knew who was in the hospital with cancer, and as a result, it ended up becoming a nationwide charity in which People raise money by playing video games and donate it to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. And so they have a game day event that for 24 hours straight, you play video games and you get donations similar to a Relay for Life works. And all the money that our clubs personally raise directly goes to the UVM's, the University of Vermont's Children's Hospital, right down the street. So this year we had over $5,000 raised and over 250 participants come.
Cool. So next we're going to talk about student government and how they work with clubs and how students can get involved and things like that.
So
Kirby?
the student government is an organization here on campus where we have about 35 clubs a semester, ranging from academic clubs to social clubs to service activity clubs. And by doing this, it really engages students in all types of activities. So you can do ski and ride, you can go to an accounting club, you can do a video game club, you can ride horses with our equestrian club, play rugby. Each semester we get a few new clubs and they change. There's water sports club in the fall and it doesn't really exist in the spring, chess club, and it's really a nice way for students to find a passion they have at Champlain. At any point in time you can find 10 friends and an advisor and create your own club and bring it to the student government, and we'll help you get funded and support you through your journey as you try and have a club going. This year we're really trying to push that all the club heads and club leaders are student leaders on this campus, and how being engaged in extracurricular activities helps you not only in your education but also post-graduation. So that's a really cool piece about student government.
And other than like helping clubs get involved, are there any other events that SGA does?
So each year we host fall and spring elections, which the entire campus community can get involved in. So this year for our fall elections, we brought in a local band and had food out in one of our quad areas, so students could listen from their houses or just come down and hang out with us. Last spring we did our spring elections, and that was a carnival theme in our gym. So cotton candy and all the fun foods were there to announce our elections. In addition, around February, March, we have our leadership dinner. So all the student leaders are invited, and we bring in speakers and have a nice evening just kind of promoting what it means to be a student leader on this campus and how important it is to our community. And then there's always different speaking engagements which students can get involved in, really using those opportunities to have their voice heard from other students, faculty and staff, and administration.
Cool. So next we're going to talk about admissions events. So Mariana, if you want to like touch upon the types of events that the admissions office does.
Definitely. So when you're a prospective student at Champlain College, you hopefully come to tour campus. So we run regular tours every day of the week and also Saturday tours. In addition to that, during the fall, we have open house where students can take an experimental core class, get to meet some faculty members, and meet other students who are applying. And then in the spring, after applications are in, we have an accepted students day where you get to learn more about your major, and the faculty members get a tour again if you want to see the classrooms you could be in, and so on and so forth. So those are the main events that we run.
Cool. So I know that we've all lived in Burlington for a few years, so this is kind of a popcorn style, kind of talk about events in Burlington. If anyone wants to start.
I can start. So in Burlington, I've had the opportunity to live here year-round between my 4 years here, and there's always music festivals happening and food festivals, which I think the food festivals are the best, because what college student doesn't love food? There are events happening almost every day here in Burlington, and between some of our Facebook groups and just word of mouth, you can find something that you're really interested in and entertain yourself when you're not doing homework and studying. And it's a great way to get to know people in your first year or throughout all of the years, and find something you're really interested in outside of campus.
Yeah, it's true. There's a ton of fun resources around as well. I know when I was here over the summer, I followed a page called like Summer Happenings in Burlington. It was actually run by like a Burlington moms organization, so it was supposed to be for family events, but all of them were super fun. It was just like food festivals and music festivals, like Kirby said, and then just a lot of like little niche kind of art things, and I don't know, there's just a lot going on here, especially down at the waterfront. They all hold it in a beautiful, beautiful venue. So, I mean, even if the event doesn't really interest you, it's still in such a great place. There's so much to do around here. And then you drive 20 minutes outside of Burlington, and you're in the heart of the Green Mountains, so there's tons to do outside as well.
Yeah, and on top of that, I know a lot of classes sometimes like to incorporate events that they will think work with the course that they're already teaching. So one popular one is the art hop, and they usually have that towards the beginning of the semester, the first semester. And I know a lot of classes where the core mainly will incorporate the art hop into what they're currently teaching. So I know I had an aesthetic expressions class this semester, and at the beginning it was part of our homework to actually go down to the art hop and see these things going on. And a lot of the times you go down there and you go there to go for an assignment or to like get a certain topic for whatever it is you're researching, and suddenly you find yourself down there with your friends and everyone in Burlington showing off their art, and it's a huge part of campus and it's a lot of fun.
One of my favorite things about like the Burlington culture is there's actually in the fall, and then it starts up again in the spring, is down on, there's a place called Arts Riot, about 15 minutes away from campus, and every Friday night they do a food truck stop, and they have about 10 or so food trucks come out, and sometimes they're from outside of Burlington. They sometimes set up on Church Street, and it's a perfect time if you want to try like local cuisine that might be different, or if you want just like a really good taco for like a really decent price. Like you can run into the same places during Church Street during the week sometimes, but Friday is the perfect place to go like with your friends like at 8 o'clock at night and sample what the city has to offer.
One of the coolest things I found is we have a music and event venue called Higher Ground. So during this year, I often go to concerts, but sometimes I'll host comedians. Bo Burnham was here recently. Kathy Griffin's been here before. Margaret Cho. Really awesome people and just a huge variety. And sometimes as a student, you can get better prices. So it's really accessible to go to.
On top of Higher Ground, there's also the Flynn Theater, and Champlain College has a great partnership. So the SGA, along with other pieces of campus, host this Flynn Theater program partnership event where you as a student can go to the Flynn Theater shows and productions at a discounted or completely free rate just because you're a student, and that's a great way to see cool shows, or like Damon said, it goes a lot with the classes, so it's a really neat opportunity to get involved in Burlington events through Champlain.
So I have one final question, which is, what is / tell me about your favorite Champlain campus event?
I'll go. So my favorite event that Champlain puts on is the Spring Meltdown. So the last day of classes usually, depending on how the schedule falls, Champ and Student Activities put on this giant carnival in one of the quads or the gym if it's bad weather. And it's just a way to kind of celebrate one last thing before we get into the finals for the end of the year. We've done Dr. Seuss theme. My sophomore year, we did a cheese theme because we have Cabot Creameries right around the corner. And there's always like super fun games and activities and awesome t-shirts. Favorite part. You can dunk different faculty members and students, which is always a blast. It's great to have, get to dunk President Lockman or someone in the dunk tank, and that's a great way to start the finals, whatever you want to call it. But it's a really cool event, and it's something everyone looks forward to at the end of the year. So definitely go to Spring Meltdown.
I'll go next then, if that's okay. I really like when we hold our Halloween events. Halloween is very interesting in Burlington because it's one of those cities where it's a week-long event. Like, it's not just contained on October 31st, and that definitely is shown at Champlain, at like the plethora of events that we hold on, from the costume contests to like we have people who like run like cosplay groups and things like that, and the like highlight of it all is Champ puts on a Halloween-based event. It's a little bit different every year, depending on like kind of what we're feeling. This year we had the Monster Mash, which was a roller derby slash like party that we had in the gym, and we actually like did rollerblading in the gym, and we had a photo booth, a DJ, and some really cool like snacks and things like that. And it's one of those where students at Champlain go really hard on their costumes. Like it's almost kind of go big or go home, and it's pretty interesting to see what some people come up with. So like the Halloween events that we hold are definitely probably my favorite.
Halloween is a great time around this city. Like really, it's one of the very rare places that it's every single day. You're expected to pretty much dress up for a full week. It's pretty wild here. But I guess I'll talk about my favorite event, and I'm going to be extremely, extremely biased on this because it's kind of my baby and it's something that I've worked on for years, but our on-campus Rail Jam. We put in so many hours. We start planning it months in advance, but it's just really a cool thing for people to be able to look out their windows and see their fellow students skiing on campus. We bring in all the we bring in all the snow from local ice rinks. We rent a U-Haul, shovel, and we just kind of make it happen no matter what. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't ski or snowboard, it's just a really interesting thing to walk by and say, the heck is this going on in the middle of campus? Who are these lunatics? But it's something that I've kind of fallen in love with, and that's kind of what's made me really liked or fallen in love with event planning as well. Just watching everything come together. It's a cool event that brings together the ski community as well as the whole Champlain community, and really kicks off our winter here in Vermont. Yeah, as I said, I'm very, very biased about this.
Yeah, so I'd probably say one of my favorite events, a little cheating, it would probably be the whole week of Spirit Week, because that's something that Champ usually provides, and I'm part of Champ, so I planned it this year. But usually Spirit Week is really fun, or at least from the 2 times that I've been here, because the Spirit Week we had this year was Disney themed, and part of the fun of it was coming up with a lot of the events that we did. So we had Disney caricatures where people would stand in line and get their caricature painted, and then we have the grind every Wednesday night here at Champlain, which anyone can go up and just start singing or performing anything they want to whoever decides to attend. And so during Spirit Week this year, it was Disney themed, and so some people did their favorite Disney karaoke songs and sang their favorite Disney songs that they really like. And then towards the end of Spirit Week, besides all the events that go on during it, is just kind of like the final festival / carnival of Spirit Week. So it was kind of like Chauncey World this year because it's like Disney World. And there was just so many events going on there, like a dunk tank and pennant flag making and photo booth with your own like Disney-themed castle behind you. Just the whole Spirit Week in general is usually really fun because when people really get into it, you can see the theme pretty much everywhere you go on campus. And when it was Disney, it was kind of in your face, like Disney usually is. But it was fun to embrace that for a week because that's what the theme was. And just being part of Champ and planning it was a lot of fun because everyone's bouncing ideas off each other. You hear some crazy ideas, you hear some ideas that you really like and are passionate about, and you go through with them. And just the events every night during Spirit Week can be a lot of fun depending on what they are.
This is going to sound corny, but my favorite event on campus is Accepted Students Day. I've gone to attend it as a peer advisor and a resident assistant, and next semester as a student ambassador, and seeing the excitement of future students and current students who get to share their stories. It just shows how much of a great job Champlain does as an institution and giving experiences to their students. So it just reinforces why I love this school. And it's fun also in its own way.
So I'm going to answer this question, and then I do have another question. I don't really have a favorite event. I love all events. So this year, I'm in Champ along with Damien, but I'm president of Champ, so I have a really big hand in planning these events and making sure they happen. But so really every event I get equally as excited about, no matter what it is. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick Mr. Champlain, which is our beauty pageant that we do in the spring semester. It's just entertaining. One year someone dressed up in a banana costume as their swimsuit category. It's a riot. It's just a great time. So that's probably my favorite event. And then
super biased last year in relation to that.
Yeah. And so another type of event thing that happens on campus, I know Mariana probably knows, and Kirby, because you guys have both been RAs, but what kind of events do RAs do?
I can jump in here. So I was an RA, or a resident assistant, for a year and a half, and those are the ones that live in the res halls with you and kind of act as a mentor to the different people in the room, but they're also in charge of putting on events per semester. We put on 3 different types of events a month, and those range from social activities. My favorite is Messy Twister. So we use the lawn space and throw out the twister board along with some watercolor paint, and it goes crazy, and it's some of the most fun you'll have. And then there's also educational events where we are trying to incorporate some of the lessons you should learn while you're in college. However, it's also a good time to do some fun things. So one year I did a butterbeer event. So we watched Harry Potter and just kind of talked about what temptations you'll have in college and how to avoid them, or at least do them in a healthy manner. And then we also have the opportunity to take our residents to different events happening on campus. So a lot of the time we'll go to the diversity activity programmers events because they have some really cool ones during the week. And it's another great way for the residents to get involved in various groups on campus, but also learn valuable lessons. And so there's usually something happening in your res hall directly once a week, sometimes more than that. And then it's cool when you have friends in other res halls because you'll learn about their events, and then you'll go support their RAs and get to participate in tons of events each month, and it's a great way to get involved and meet new people.
And as Kirby was saying, as an RA, you get to do different types of events. I was an RA in Montreal, so we encouraged events that were cultural as well as fun. So one of the events I did is I took people to the downtown older Montreal city area. They got to explore, practice speaking the French language, eat local foods, stuff like that. So events can have a broader range and can depend on what the residents request or what's in the area that you're in.
I think we're just waiting for Sarah to come back.
Hi. Okay. Well, you guys were great. If we're all wrapped up and there aren't any more questions, I would just say that I'm happy that people joined into view, and also excited for people who will watch this in the future on our YouTube channel. And I'd encourage anybody who watches this to follow our different social media accounts on both Instagram and Twitter. And our account is Champlain SA, as in the letters S and A. And then you can also search us on YouTube, so you can find different links to other Google Hangouts and future Google Hangouts. So thank you so much for all of our panelists, and thanks to Rachel for hosting this. I think it's a lot of great information, and we'll be using this a lot in the future to let prospective students and accepted students know all the different things that they can get involved in here on campus and in Burlington. So thanks so much, and have a great night.
Thank you.
Bye.